Before Bill Galvin became an alderperson for the city of Green Bay.
I don't care if it's a reporter or a soldier or a police officer or a teacher.
He was a police officer for 35 years.
We all need help and support, and the more we can do throughout our society, I think the better off we're all going to be.
And back then, mental health services for those with a badge were slim.
They didn't have anybody available for us to talk to or to see. We would have to seek it out on our own, and that just wasn't happening with the culture that existed at that time. Everybody had to be a tough guy.
He says over time, those services did improve, but were sporadic, far different from today. At Green Bay, the department contracts psychiatric and wellness services.
We looked at how much use our contract resource was getting, and it has gradually gone up over the last few years. This year, we were up to $50,000 in billing by the beginning of October.
In January, the department will go a step further and have a full-time mental health nurse practitioner on staff. Chief Chris Davis remembers, too, the days when officers were expected to just tough it out.
A positive change that we've seen in the police profession is the acknowledgement of how all this stuff that a police officer deals with in a 20 or 30-year police career kind of piles up, and how much better off people will be if they're intentional about how they work through the things that you deal with.
A federal grant will fund the nurse practitioner for 2025. Davis is hopeful that results will lead to council supporting funds to keep the professional on staff for many more years, too.
This is a national movement, and I think it is because even early on we're starting to see that it's working.
Galvin says this is a step in the right direction.
We lost some officers over the years to mental health issues. I know that there's been some officers in Brown County that have committed suicide. So it's hard to see this and then think that if there had been something available that they could have taken advantage of without any of the stigma or anything else that goes along with it.
Both men also say it'll lead to even better police service, community interactions, and understanding. Chief Davis also adds that it feels an obligation to recognize and take better care of our officers.
Police officers are human beings. We go through things that, everybody talks about. But until you're sitting there and it's all over with and you're sitting up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden it hits you like this, it's hard.
In Green Bay,
it's just super great that we're getting this and that we're going to be able to help our officers.
Marlo Lundak, Fox 11 News.